Hi everybody. Today we'll discuss about Model 3, that is Rich Internet Applications AJAX. In this we'll learn about what is AJAX, and before that what are the limitations of using the current, that is the traditional classic web applications. Okay, limitations of classic web application model. I'll explain you all these 3 points in a general sentence. Suppose you are sitting in front of a desktop or PC, desktop or laptop, and you're trying accessing a Gmail. That is, you're registering on a Gmail. When you enter the details, the page loads, right? Then you have to wait for the response. Then again you have to see whether it throws an OTP or some kind of other operations. Okay, that is a major drawback in this classic web application model. So there is some delay in some response getting back from the server to the user. So the client side, that is the HTML and the whatever technology used like PHP, ASP, it throws some HTTP request to the server, gets back, do some operations, get back from the server to the HTTP through HTTP request. So there is a big delay. To overcome that, there is one more technology in this model known as AJAX. So what is AJAX? The AJAX for the shorthand is asynchronous JavaScript and XML. Okay, what is asynchronous? Before asynchronous, since I said you just now that you have to wait for the operations from the server then to the client, that is you, that becomes synchronous. So what in case we do in a asynchronous way, that is we give some post or request to the user and we get back in seconds before the page loads or before it makes the client to wait. For that reason we can use AJAX. Okay, so AJAX is a asynchronous JavaScript language. Before that, it's a technology but not a programming language. Okay, this is a main thing as per the Viva. It's not a programming language. If you want to use AJAX in ASP PHP, you can use by using the script language, that is the script tag. If you the same thing, you use the JavaScript, the jQuery, you just have to include the AJAX script tag and use. When you use the AJAX, you have some kind of commands, that is XML, HTTP request, and so on. This is the command. You can create some modules. Suppose there are 3 modules in a page, you want to load the first and third module but not the second module, so you can achieve that by using the AJAX. Okay, so I'll have some diagram here. The left hand side is the classic web application and the right hand side is using the AJAX. In the left hand side, since you are the, suppose I am the browser here, that is user, I request something, that is, this might be PHP, ASP, Java, anything. So through this I send some request. This might be MySQL, SQL server, anything. So it checks for the create operation, update operation, delete operation, those kind of things. If found or if not found, it throws back to the user interface to this page load. During this process the page is loading. Why? That is, process is requesting, and hence making the user wait. Then whatever is come, that is it is processed here, it is thrown back to the user interface, and hence browser proceeds further. But in case of right hand side, the AJAX web application, as I said you, we can use some XML HTTP request. So this is the kind of HTTP request. You have the browser here. This is a model. Since I said you in web, suppose you can load certain number of modules depending upon which model you want to load. So suppose it's a single model in a web page. In this model I'm having the user interface. This might be PHP, ASP, Java, anything, and this is a AJAX engine. Okay, this is the where before page loads, it takes every database operations from here, then it stores here. Why? Because it doesn't want the user to wait. Whenever user requests something, it sends the request back in seconds without making him to wait. Okay, before page loads, it goes to here, takes everything in the form of XML or JSON. XML is like an extra markup language and JSON is JavaScript object notification. Both has some object value pair. So why? Because suppose you are a Java developer and I am a ASP.NET developer. So database is mandatory, right? If I want to switch my software to ASP to Java, then I use XML or JSON to switch that or transfer the database values. For that reason they use XML and JSON. For this it is uses XML and JSON. Okay, before page load, AJAX goes to server, take everything here through XML and stores here. Then whenever at any time user requests something, this might be PHP, ASP, anything, then it goes here, not here, goes here, checks everything as it's checking here, then throws the request back to the user in seconds without the page load. So there is no kind of page load here. You can find the page load here but not here. So this is the drawback of this. In order to overcome the drawback, we use the AJAX. AJAX is the asynchronous JavaScript XML. So we'll see what are the principles of AJAX. Minimal traffic, as I said you, no response doesn't make the user waiting, no surprises, that is, if there is an error, if the user data is found, it doesn't make the user wait, it shows the response in seconds. And okay, established conventions, don't waste time inventing new user interactions, that is, suppose instead of showing the loading bar, suppose it shows a pop-up that wait for 5 seconds, 10 seconds, it doesn't show that, those kind of things. No distractions, self-explanatory, accessibility, that is much more faster and much more flexible. Avoid entire page downloads, since I said you, suppose this is a page, this is a single module. In page you can have some multiple modules. In suppose you have 4 modules, in out of 4 modules you just want to load the first 2 and the remaining 2 you want to keep as it is. You can achieve that by using the AJAX. User first, okay, so user first in the sense it doesn't make the user wait for whatever requests he throws at whatever the database might, how much the big data might be big, whatever the complex operations there are, it throws or it sends the request back to the user without much delay in time. So this was the principles about AJAX. Technology behind AJAX we can use with JavaScript, DOM in the sense HTML, XML, API, since I said API in a sense, if you're trying to use the Facebook but you have forgotten the password, but you can try to log in by using Gmail, for that reason you can use the API and you can use the same using AJAX. CSS, this is kind of a style sheet. XML request, this comes under AJAX, we can use by using JavaScript objects, interaction with the server. Okay, so this was the model 3 interaction with AJAX, limitations of applications. If you have any doubts, message me, and thank you for your time.